Welcome back to Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. You're listening to 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. Today, I want to talk on the topic of mindset and answer your question, how can I change my mindset? You see, your mindset is the inner blueprint that transforms your life, and which is why this show is called Transform Your Mind. Because when you transform your mind, bumper sticker, you transform your life. Because your mindset is your operating system like Windows, operating system like, if you were in the 80s with the computers, DOS and all those things. A computer needs an operating system to run, and you are being run by an operating system, even though you don't name it, even though you're not aware of it. So, people think that you can't change your mindset, and it's not easy to do, but it can be done. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can change your mindset in this episode. So, when women come to me for coaching, they usually want to change something external, their relationships, their finances, their confidence, their choices. But every transformation, real lasting transformation, begins in only one place, and that is your mindset. Your mindset is the lens that you look through. It colors how you interpret situations, how you act, what you expect, and ultimately what you attract. What you think about, you bring about. The same event can feel like a blessing or a burden, depending on the mind that meets it. That's how powerful your internal programming is. So let's talk about how you can actually change your mindset, not just intellectually, not just motivationally, but neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually. So here are the 6 steps to changing your mindset. Number one, understand your current operating system. Like I said, we know that, you know, um, uh, Microsoft is running our computers, right? But we don't know what's running our own brain because 95% of the time we are not aware, we are not living consciously. But your mindset is not random. It is built from belief systems you inherited from your parents, your grandparents, teachers, I guess, can also influence your belief systems, your church that you grew up in. Yes, belief systems you inherited, stories you internalized. Someone tells you a story. This is what happened to me because I did this. And you internalize that. And sometimes it becomes your story. Trauma also imprints your nervous system and uses it for protection. Right. Your issues are in your tissues. They're in your spine. They're in your back. Right. They're in your brain. Yes, it just doesn't come and then just leave. It sticks around. Experiences that shaped your expectations. Something bad happened to you once, or you expected something and it didn't happen. Your brain start to say, hey, you know what? This equals that. So if I do this, this is what's going to happen. And if I don't do this, then this is not going to happen. Again, right? The past doesn't equal the future, but your brain wants you to think that. Social conditioning about what you deserve. I've heard people talk about, I'm born in the wrong side of the tracks. Nothing happens because I grew up in the hood, things like that. But guess what? All the rags to riches story, and I mean all of them, are people that were born in the wrong side of the tracks, were born with no money, poor as dirt. And their mindset allowed them to elevate. So, the first thing to understanding what operating system is running around in your head is to ask yourself these questions. What do I believe about myself? Do I believe that I'm worth it? Or do I believe that I am just going to struggle and that I'm just going to live a mediocre life? What do you believe? Do you believe that you can become wealthy? Do you believe that you can have the relationships that you deserve? What do you believe? What do you expect from people? A lot of times we go around thinking that nobody's going to do anything for us and we have to do it all ourselves. What do you expect from people? It is your operating system. What do you believe is possible for yourself? I just said that in a different way, right? What do you believe is possible? Do you believe that you're going to? I heard a statement the other day from Myron Golden, and he says, when you are born, you're born poor. But if you die poor, it's your fault. So, what do you believe is possible? Do you believe that you can be wealthy? Do you believe that you can be successful? Do you believe that for the things that you want? So, what do you believe? What scares you, right? Again, this is a deep one, but I mean, are you scared of trying? Are you scared of failing? Those are the important ones. And where am I playing small? Where am I saying this can't happen for me? Where am I saying, oh, this would never happen? I can't do this. So you keep yourself small, right? Awareness isn't comfortable, but awareness is liberation. I just said that 95% of the time we're living unconsciously. We're just going with the program that's in our brain. But once you become aware, once you put light on it, then you start to dissolve those things. So once you become aware, then there's something that's called neuroplasticity. And you can rewire your brain and your thoughts purposely by reprogramming them. Neuroplasticity simply means that the brain can rewire itself. New thoughts literally creates new neural pathways. But you have to understand the rules of the brain. You have to understand if you're going to be a programmer and you're going to write code, you got to understand the rules. First rule is what you repeat, you reinforce. And this could be things like affirmations and it could be things like habits, right? Whatever you do, right? As a man thinks, so is he. What you do is who you are. There's a whole big statement about thoughts and actions and results and all that, and they all feed into each other. What you emotionally charge, you multiply. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. When I'm doing my prayers and my visualizations, I put emotion to it because emotion is what makes it multiply, what makes it manifest. Is a language for prayer, for God. You need to have emotion. Excuse me. But that same emotion brings negative things, right? So you got to understand what you are creating. What you visualize, you normalize. I just said that when I'm doing my visualization and I'm doing my prayer and I'm doing anything to do with manifestation, I have emotion to it because when you visualize something, you normalize it. You start aligning yourself to it. You start attracting it, right? And I was doing an interview the other day with the guy, one of the guys from The Secret, and I was thinking that when you have something in your vortex, which is all your unmanifested things, that you are attracting it like a magnet. And he says, no, that's not how it works. You have to be in alignment with it, but you're not really attracting it. So when you visualize it, you get an alignment and you normalize it. So to shift your mindset, you need to start installing new patterns, affirmations that align with who you are becoming, not generic ones, identity based ones, For instance, I am a woman who advocates for herself. I am worthy of support. I am safe to expand. Right. One of the other things is, when you're doing affirmations, I've been doing some affirmations recently about large sums of money. Yeah, that's the space I'm in. Right. And you say these affirmations that large sums of money are going to be coming my way, things like that. Affirmations, right? I'm aligned with the energy of money, things like that. These are the affirmations that you tell yourself. I'm good enough. I'm worthy, right? I'm the woman that any man can love. There's actually a girl that wrote a book like that, and it's always stuck in my head. But yeah, if you go around by saying, I'm a woman that any man can love, guess what? You're aligning yourself with love. You're aligning yourself. You're normalizing people loving you. And guess what? It's going to happen for you. Right. So, with visualization, the important thing about visualization is that your brain cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. It is so, so important. It fires the same neutrons. See it, feel it, become it. Every manifestation coach is going to talk to you about visualization, right? And if they're not, they're no good. But every one of them is going to tell you about visualization, right? It also interrupts the negative loops, the stuff that keeps going around in your brain all the time, and you can't get rid of it, right? So when the old survival thoughts show up, like I can't, I'm not enough, I always fail, create a pattern interrupt. Say, that's an old program and I choose differently now. Not only am I not saying that I can't, but I'm saying that I will. And I'm saying I am plenty enough and I never fail. Create a pattern. And a lot of people don't like affirmations because they think that because when you're saying it, you don't really believe it, then it's not going to work for you. But you know what? I've heard them say, you just say it till you start to believe it. Maybe it's not going to work right away because you're saying, like for instance, you're saying, I'm wealthy and you're poor, dirt poor. But sooner or later, your brain is going to get with the program, right? Repetition plus emotion plus consistency is equal to rewiring. Rewire that brain, rewire those neurons, right? Now, number three is change your mindset through your body because whatever your body do, it kind of seals it in. Your thoughts, then you have actions, right? So mindset isn't only in your thoughts, it lives in your nervous system. A woman that has had trauma or is often hypervigilant. She's looking around a corner for this trauma to come hit her on the head again, right? She's always catastrophizing, thinking the doom, world is coming to an end, doom thinking, right? Fear-based expectations. Somebody hurt you once, you're going into a relationship with fear-based, So these are things, low trust, shame loops, right? These are things that live in your nervous system. So how do you get them out? You have to start acting, right? Change your mindset requires teaching your body a new baseline of safety. So, whenever you feel that fear, you do some deep belly breathing, which is diaphragmatic breathing, which means you breathe deeply and you watch your stomach come out, right? And you see your stomach go back in, right? And you have some grounding techniques. Like when I do some deep breathing, and I'm in the park, I am thinking that I'm a tree root and I'm going down into the earth and I'm bringing back up, whatever I need. And that's also where you ground because you're grounding yourself like a tree, right? Cold water exposure as well shocks the system. You go and you don't have to do the cold plunge. You can just turn on the cold water in your house. That darn water is cold. Right. And box breathing. is very important. So when you're working with your deep belly breathing, you're doing inhaling for 3, holding it for 3, and exhaling for 6, right? That is basically what that does is reset your vagus nerves and take you out of fight or flight, gets you into safety, right? Rest and digest. So, a regulated nervous system allows you to believe new things about your life and your future. Number 4 is change your environment to support your new mindset. Your mind reflects your surroundings. If you're trying to upgrade your mindset while living around negativity, chaos, and people who benefit from the old version of you, the change will be harder. Yeah. People benefit from the people pleasing you, the one that is always saying, how high can I jump? Right? So you need to shift your environment. You need to claim your power. You need to be empowered. Spend time with people who think on the level that you're growing into. And now this is important because when people tell you to spend time, you're thinking, I don't got no friends. Who am I going to spend time with? They say that you are the summary of the 5 people you hang around with. But guess what? You know what I hang around with? I hang around with books, right? I hang around with authors, right? So these are the people that you need to hang around with, right? Curate your social media. I mean, there's so many positive, reinforcing people on social media, at least on my feed, right? So yeah, you can be inspired by your social media feed. Hey, and I love this one. Listen to uplifting podcasts like the Transform Your Mind podcast, which is what I'm doing here now, right? I'm empowering you. I'm uplifting you. I'm changing your environment. You put me in your ear and listen every day. Trust me, you will shift your mindset. Now, to go along with your visualization, you can create a vision board. Cut out things that you wanna do, places you wanna go, things you wanna, cars that you wanna drive, clothes that you wanna wear. Create a vision board and put it somewhere that you can see it every day. Organize your home or your workspace. Read content that expands you rather than drain you. Stop listening to the news. Everybody talks about that. It's just negativity. Your mindset grows in the soil you plant it in. Number 5, build daily habits that anchor your new identity. Remember, I talked about doing, right? So, this is where it comes into play. Habits. Mindset change isn't a one time epiphany, it's a daily choice. Choose small habits that reinforce the woman you are becoming. Create morning routines with intention. And it's got to include movement of some sort and, you know, meditation or some kind of internal work, right? Journal your new story. A long time ago, I heard this, my pastor was talking about when you were born, right? Maybe you have a beginning and you have an end, but the middle pages are what you put in your story. So create your middle pages. You are the director of your life, you are the producer, right? So journal a new story, write your new story, and maybe you will live it. Celebrate your small wins. Practice gratitude. This is a big one. You might think you have nothing to be grateful for, but you have so much to be grateful for. You can actually hear me. You can actually see me. You're breathing. Every day above ground is a good day. Start by that. Maybe you might have a lot of money in your bank account. Maybe you don't have love, of other people, but you need to love yourself, right? But there's so many things you can be grateful for, right? I heard a saying once that if you have money in a coin thing, you're richer than 90% of people in the world, right? Because some people don't have pennies. So be grateful. Speak to yourself with compassion. Stop being critical, okay? Set boundaries for the people around you. Don't let people make you a mat that they can walk on. Showing up even when you are scared. Make yourself do it. Make yourself go to the place that you're scared of, right? Do it. Do it afraid. And these daily habits tell your brain, this is who I am now, and the identity takes root. Number six, you're coming to the end. Give yourself grace. Mindset change is a process. Don't expect it to work in the first week or the first day. Your old mindset was built over decades, right? So it's going to take some time to change it and rewire it. Changing won't happen overnight, but here's the truth. You can radically alter the trajectory of your life in 90 days with the right mindset work. And even if it takes you 180 days, it's a process, okay? You can shift how you see yourself. You can break generational patterns. You can become the woman your younger self needed. You can create a future your older self will thank you for. Every thought you consciously choose rewires you. Every belief you refuse to repeat frees you. Every moment of self awareness empowers you. So, as we wrap up, I want to let you know that you are not stuck. You are being called higher. Transformation doesn't start when your life gets better. Transformation starts when your mindset gets better. What when you believe I deserve more, I am capable of more, I am worthy of more, I can choose differently, I am ready for a new chapter in my life. Your life raises to meet that belief. So, yes, you can change your mindset. And when you do, everything else will change with it. Well, I hope you were inspired. I'm inspired just teaching this message. Okay? Yes, you can change your mindset. And it's not as hard as you think. Follow these 6 steps and write a new story, right? Hey, you are the author of your life. Okay, so write your story. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I know this was more than 5 minutes, but you get the concept, right? So, if you were inspired by this message, then what I would love for you to do is comment, share it with someone that you think will benefit from it. And of course, any interaction that you have with the video or on iTunes or anything like that helps the algorithm. So I'm thanking you in advance. All right. So thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, namaste.